She thought she'd found love online. His words were kind, his voice reassuring, and his promises felt real. Every morning started with a "good morning, my love," and every night ended with a dream of their future together. "I can't wait to meet you. You're the only one who understands me." That was his regular line of manipulation. But the man she trusted wasn't real. Behind that perfect smile was a network of scammers, trained to manipulate hearts, not just hack accounts. This is the new face of romance scams, smarter, colder, and heartbreakingly convincing. Welcome back to TrustArmor, your ally in digital and emotional safety. In a world where love and technology collide, scammers have found ways to exploit the heart as easily as they exploit the wallet. Today, we're uncovering how romance scams have evolved. We'll explore the sophisticated tactics scammers now use, including AI-generated profiles, deepfake videos, and long-term emotional manipulation designed to build trust before they strike. You'll hear a real victim's story, anonymized to protect privacy, to see just how convincing these scammers can be. Then we'll break down the red flags and emotional manipulation tactics that you need to recognize early, before it's too late. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to protect not just your money, but your heart. Knowledge is your first line of defense, and together, we'll make sure that trust is earned, not stolen. Romance scams aren't new. Many of us remember the classic Nigerian prince emails or letters promising love and fortune. But the game has changed. Today, scammers are smarter, more patient, and far more convincing. First, we have catfishing 2.0. Scammers now use AI-generated photos and even deepfake videos to create people who don't exist. Faces that look real, voices that sound authentic, all designed to lure trust from unsuspecting victims. Then there's crypto investment romance. These scammers masquerade as romantic partners who claim to have lucrative investment opportunities, often in crypto. Victims are convinced to invest together or help with a small transfer, and once the money is sent, it's gone. And the long con love trap, the most insidious of all. Scammers will spend months, sometimes years, building emotional trust. Daily messages, personal details, and constant attention make victims feel a genuine connection. Then, at the right moment, they exploit that trust for financial gain. These scams are no longer about quick hits. They are carefully crafted operations, blending technology with emotional manipulation. They're not after love. They're after life savings, memories, and peace of mind. And the emotional damage often lasts far longer than the financial loss. Let's meet Jane, an ordinary woman who thought she was finding love. She met Michael on a faith-based dating site. He claimed to be an engineer working overseas. His messages were thoughtful, his calls reassuring, and over 6 months a connection grew. Jane trusted him completely. One day, Michael told her about a sudden problem, a shipment fee for his new project that he couldn't cover. He asked for $4,000. Jane didn't hesitate. She wanted to help. A week later, another urgent request arrived. She sent $8,000 this time, and then silence. No calls, no messages, just a void where trust and love had once felt real. It's not foolishness, it's trust, weaponized. Scammers know how to exploit kindness, hope, and the desire for connection. They study their victims carefully, the right words, the perfect timing, until their prey doesn't even question the requests anymore. Romance scams are now among the costliest cybercrimes globally. Victims often lose thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, and the emotional toll is even higher. It's a crime that leaves scars beyond the financial loss, betrayal, shame, and heartbreak. Jane's story isn't unique. It represents a growing wave of scams that combine emotional manipulation with financial deception. Recognizing these patterns before the money and trust are lost is the key to protection. Romance scams aren't just about money. They're about controlling the heart. Scammers have mastered emotional manipulation, turning trust and affection into weapons. First, there's love bombing. Early in the relationship, victims are flooded with attention, affection, and validation. Every message reinforces the illusion of a perfect match. Compliments, gifts, and constant communication make victims feel special and understood, making it easier for scammers to ask for help later. Next, isolation. Scammers often discourage victims from talking to friends or family, suggesting that outsiders wouldn't understand the relationship. Slowly, the victim's support network is minimized, leaving them more vulnerable to influence. Urgency and guilt are powerful levers. Scammers create fake crises, sudden hospital bills, job emergencies, or personal losses, and pressure victims to act immediately. Victims feel they have no choice but to help. Finally, future faking. Promises of marriage, reunions, or shared life plans keep victims invested emotionally. They hang on to hope, believing every request is temporary and for the greater good of the relationship. As one expert puts it, they don't steal your money first, they steal your trust. These tactics aren't about technology or hacking. They're about manipulating human emotion, making you willingly hand over both your heart and your wallet. While romance scams can be emotionally devastating, there are practical steps you can take to protect yourself and your heart. First, insist on video chat early. Scammers often avoid live video because it could expose them. A simple face-to-face call can reveal whether the person you're talking to is genuine. Second, reverse image search their profile pictures. Many scammers use stock images or stolen photos. A quick search can reveal whether the person has multiple online identities or appears in unrelated contexts. Never send money to someone you haven't met in person. No matter how convincing the story or crisis seems, transferring funds is risky and often irreversible. Be wary of online investment pitches. Romance scammers sometimes mix financial scams with emotional manipulation, promoting crypto or other opportunities. If it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Finally, talk to someone you trust. A friend, family member, or mentor can provide perspective. Scammers rely on isolation. Getting an outside opinion is one of the best ways to stay safe. These steps aren't just about protecting your money, they're about protecting your heart and your emotional well-being. Awareness and simple precautions are your strongest defenses against romance scams. If you realize you've been targeted by a romance scam, act quickly and calmly. First, stop all contact with the scammer immediately. Continuing communication only gives them more control. Next, preserve all evidence. Save chat logs, emails, and receipts. This documentation will be essential for reporting and possible investigations. Report the fraud to your bank and your national cybercrime authority. Prompt reporting increases your chances of recovering funds or preventing further misuse. Seek emotional support. Being scammed can leave deep emotional scars. Talk to trusted friends, family, or professional counselors. Join victim support communities to share experiences, learn from others, and start healing. Here's what to remember. Real love builds trust over time. Scammers try to fake it fast, using emotion to manipulate and exploit you. Always protect both your heart and your wallet. Take a moment to pause before sending money or sharing personal details, verify identities, and stay cautious online. Let's recap the key lessons. Romance scams thrive on rushing emotions. Love, trust, and urgency are weaponized. Real relationships build trust over time. Scammers try to fake it fast. Protect both your heart and your wallet by pausing before sending money or sharing personal information. Always verify identities, question requests that feel off, and talk to someone you trust before taking action. Stay aware of emotional manipulation tactics like love bombing, isolation, and future faking. Remember this mantra: pause, verify, protect. Awareness is your strongest defense against online romance scams.